Okay, so this is step 1 of the 3-step process of doing your dream sessions and creating the life you want to create that feels good to you. Let me tell you, a lot of times we think, oh, well, the life will just happen. No, you were given creative power for a reason. You have to build it, and it doesn't just show up. You have to visualize it first. You have to play in that formless place. You have to play there and dream there and go there and visit there every day and be able to hold yourself there, and then also stimulate those higher vibe emotions while there. So it doesn't just, once you get into, I'm in the now, that's all great and all, but now take it to the next step. You've made it to what I call step 2, which is neutrality. You've made it to the neutral zone where you need to be to create, but you then didn't put the effort forward to see what, feels good to you. You didn't play in that world, which means, there's not going to be a lot of significant change in your 3D world. Like, you'll be at peace there and like you're not resisting anything, but it's not going to change because you have not, because you asked not. You didn't ask, so you didn't play, you didn't create, you didn't use that power you've been given, so, it's just going to be what it is. Now, step 1 is to first regain control of your emotional state. And in this video, we're going to talk about the 2-chair method. And you may need to do this, daily, many times a day at first. And the purpose of it is to regain control over your emotional state. Because until you have control over your emotional state, you can't go into the neutral place, because your mind will be too loud. That fear voice is too loud, too distracting, too annoying, and keeps pulling you back into the state of the 3D and all of its problems and all of its, details of the situation that's going on. Okay? So here's the 2-chair method. When you hear the fear voice talking to you, then I want you to imagine that you are there in a room and you really don't have a form. You're just kind of like eyes looking into a room, okay? You're just spirit visualizing a room. And you look over to your right, and in the chair to your right is that fear voice, is that voice that talks to you, that judges, that talks about all the details, the drama, the soap opera, the storyline of the 3D world. And it talks to you about all the problems, all day long. All the stuff that, and you think it is you, and you get so entangled in it and so caught up in it because it sounds like your voice, and you think that is your life, and it's not. So you have to, well, it is because you're agreeing with it and you're engaging with it, but this is what we're working towards not doing anymore. We don't want to believe in it or engage with it. We just want to be able to see it. So we need to see it in front of us, not in surround sound, because then we think it is us. We need to put it out in front of us so that we can separate and detach. So there it is over in the chair to the right, and it's sitting there, and give it a form. I've done this with clients during coaching sessions, and they give it all kinds of forms. Sometimes they see it in the form of a, past relative. Sometimes they see it as a black, figure. Sometimes they see it as the Mucinex man on the Mucinex commercial. You never know. So whatever form it takes for you is the form it takes, okay? Now look over to your left, and over to your left is another chair, and in that chair is the truth of you. It is you in your purest form. It is you in your You're in control of your emotional state. You're always the same. Your emotions are stable. That is you in just pure creative form. That is your soul, untouchable. It is not wounded. It is not broken. It never has been. It can't be. It is completely healed. It is complete. It is fulfilled. And there is the truth of you. And you can give that a form. I see mine as sunshine in a chair. Like it just looks like just sunshine. Like a ball of sun. And most people do see light when they look over there. They're seeing a light of some type. I've had people see the ocean. I've had people see, it doesn't matter what form that takes for you. Just give it a form. Okay? And then now I want you to listen to that fear voice. So when you start doing this exercise, it's going to be because you're emotionally disturbed. And you realize it, and you're like, oh my God, I think I've gotten sucked in again by the fear voice, the ego voice. I think it sucked me in again. So you close your eyes and you look over at it. And you see what it is saying to you. Like you need to see it come out of its mouth, not your own mouth or your own thoughts. If you are ever talking about the details of the 3D world and judging it as a problem, you are having the thoughts of the ego voice, not your thoughts. Not your thoughts. Ego voice. That is its thoughts. Fear voice. Sitting in that chair. So what's it telling you? And then you listen to it. Well, you're going to have to, and I want you to put it in, not I have to, but you're going to have, it's talking to you. It's not I did and I may have to, and what if no, don't use I. It is talking to you. It is like another being talking to you. Well, you're going to have to do this, and then you'll never have this, and then this is going to happen to you, and da-da-da-da-da, and it's just saying all kinds of things. And then you let it say a couple things, and then you don't spend too much time on it. Then you turn your attention onto the real you. Really zone in to what the real you looks like, feels like. It's calm. It's sitting there so unhindered, or it can hear the fear voice over there in the chair, but it could care less. It knows it's not real. It knows it's ridiculous. It's so unconcerned. It's so calm. It's so complete. It's so fulfilled. It needs nothing. It wants nothing. It already has everything. It's just complete. And you look at it and you remember all that. And that's building up the truth of your consciousness and grounding into your consciousness. And now look back. So in this process of the 2-chair method, you're going to be looking back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. All right, now look to the right. What's it saying now? And it'll start talking, and then you'll say, well, what else? What else? What else? And it'll keep talking. And then you'll give it just a little bit of airtime, and then you're going to look over to the left. There I am. And remind yourself, there I am. Here's the truth of me. I'm calm, unconcerned about any of this, untouched by any of this. I already have everything. Everything's already done. Everything's complete. I have no needs, no wants. I'm completely emotionally stable, calm. There I am. Look back to the right. All right. So as you do this, what I have found is usually this thing will start to get angry. When you're not feeding into it and you're not, engaging with it, and it's not possessing you, it will start to bring up that stored pain as anger, or it'll start saying some really mean things, and it can be a real big bully and really threatening, and you better listen to me, or da-da-da, and it'll throw a fit. I see mine jumping up and down and like pulling its hair and just banging on the ground. Like, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And I let it do that. I want it to do that because it is releasing that stored energy. The bigger fit it throws, the more stored energy it releases. And you may have a topic where it doesn't really have any stored energy. It's just all talk. Sorry, train. It is all talk, and it's just blowing smoke, okay? And that's all it has to do, and it gets you sucked in. But sometimes they're really stressed, really strong stored energy. It doesn't matter which you encounter. You may encounter, a different thing each time you bring it to the chair. What matters is you start to see that thing. It will eventually, as you keep going back and forth, don't forget to look to the left. That's super important because that's the consciousness that is dissolving this thing. You have to remember the truth of you to start to dissolve this lie inside of you, this stored pain, okay? So you look to the right, and it will eventually start to shrink. It will start to get quiet. It will start to look really defeated, okay? It may even go into sadness, and then it will be defeated. And that's what you want, because then all of its power is gone. It has you have defeated this thing. You have shown enough truth on it that enough stored pain has been released. I want you to do this as often as you need to do. Anytime you find yourself, in fear about the 3D world, in, worry, in any lower emotion, anytime you feel yourself anywhere below calm and relief, tension, stress, worry, anxiety, fear, anger, disappointment, any of that, if you find yourself any of that, 2-chair method. Remember, 2-chair method. You want to dissolve the power that this thing has over controlling your emotional state. After you do this for a while, you're going to notice that you have more and more moments of neutrality, of just like indifference, feeling calm. And what it will start to tell you is that that's a problem. It'll try to regain power by saying, you just don't care about anything anymore. Like, you're just like, a big old party pooper. But what you're doing is you're going to neutrality. Okay, so it may try to make that into depression, or it'll tell you you're this or that and you just don't care. It's like, no, I just don't care about anything you're saying anymore. I don't care about the drama. I don't care about the lies you tell. I'm not getting worked up and engaged with you about those. I really just don't care. That's when you go to step 2. So there's a video on step 2. And once you get to neutrality, that is accessing the creative space. Okay? And then you'll be able to hold yourself there and then move on to step 3, which is in another video. I hope this helps, and I'll see you in step 2.